The geometry that we're going to cover tonight is about lines and angular measure. Okay, so we have to talk about lines, different line style, um, points, rays, line segments, all of those things, and know uh, uh, how how do we use them and how do we understand them when it comes to geometry. And then we have to talk about how we measure when it comes to angles, adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing angles. So let's get started with an understanding of some of the definitions of the different components of lines and angular measure. So the first thing that we want to talk about is the point, okay? Now, a lot of times in geometry, we say point A to point B. Okay, so what we need to understand about this part of geometry, or this component, is that we have to be able to show a point, right? We show it like a large floating decimal, okay? But the reality is, in geometry, a point has no size and it has no form. But for us to reference a point, we have to draw something. So we draw it as a decimal, a floating decimal, okay? So it has no form, it has no size. It's just about location, so that I can talk about point A, right? And we'll talk more about this later, right? So point A, I need to be able to talk about point A. So I have to be able to visualize it and know where it is on a line segment. Okay, so anytime we talk about points, if we're talking about the distance from point A to point B, we'll show those points, right? Point A and point B, right? We'll show those points, not just write the letter, all right? The other thing we want to talk about is a line, the basic term line when it comes to geometry, okay? So for the purposes of what we're going to be doing and understanding geometry as a subject, when we talk about a line, we're talking about a line, but it extends forever without end in two directions. When we talk about a line in geometry, that's what we're talking about, okay? We're talking about a line, but it has no end. It extends forever in both directions, okay? Now, there's another type of line that we talk about quite a bit in geometry, and that's a ray, okay? And a ray is a line that has an endpoint, okay? So we'll say this is point A. The line starts at point A or ends at point A, okay? So the line starts at point A, but it extends forever the other direction. So sometimes you'll hear or you'll see referred to in geometry when talking about a ray, sometimes it's referred to as a half line. Okay, not very commonly, but it does from time to time you'll hear that term. So if you ever hear the term a half line, we know that a line extends forever in both directions. So a half line would only extend forever in one direction, right? It has a starting point. Okay, so just if you ever hear that term half line, we're talking about a ray. Okay, all right. Let's talk for a moment about a line segment. Okay, a line segment. So a line segment is the part of a line that lies between two definite points. So imagine we go back to our understanding of a line. Okay, here's our line, and it extends forever that way, and it extends forever that way. But when we're talking about a line segment, we're talking about a portion of that line that lies between 2 points. So that might be point C and point D. So we would refer to this as line segment CD. And you will often see that written, CD, and then you'll see a little line above it like this, right? Oh, my face is right in front of it. Okay, so line segment CD. If you write it like this, that's totally okay, but because there's no other reference to a line segment or anything like this, you can just write CD. Okay, you can just write CD. We know that means line segment. You can just write it. But if you want for clarity, you want to write the line above it, you go right ahead. Okay, so a line segment is just a part of a line that lies between two definite points. Okay.